Here's something that might shock you. The average person consumes a credit card's worth of plastic every single week, not through chewing, but through eating, drinking, and even breathing. Sounds unbelievable, right? But it's true. Tiny fragments of plastic, called microplastics, have made their way into our oceans, our food, our water, and even our bodies. They're invisible to the naked eye, yet they're everywhere, from the deepest ocean trenches to the peaks of Mount Everest. So what exactly are microplastics? Where do they come from? How do they end up inside us? And what do they mean for human health and the environment? Today on Spin of Facts, we're breaking down the truth about microplastics, the pollution you can't see but can't escape. Stick around until the end, because I'll also share 5 practical steps you can take today to reduce microplastic pollution in your daily life. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more science-backed insights every week. Setting the stage, why microplastics matter. Before we dive in, let's put this in perspective. Plastic has only been around for about 70 years in mass production, but in that short time, humans have created over 9 billion tons of it. And here's the kicker. Almost 80% of it still exists today in some form because plastic doesn't fully decompose. Instead, it breaks down into smaller and smaller pieces until it becomes microplastic. Think of it like glass shattering. A bottle dropped on the floor doesn't disappear. It just splits into fragments. Similarly, when a plastic bag, bottle, or straw degrades, it doesn't vanish. It just keeps breaking into smaller bits, many of them less than 5 millimeters wide. That's smaller than a sesame seed. And once they're that tiny, they become almost impossible to clean up. They spread through the air, water, soil, and food chain, which means, in a way, microplastics are forever. Number 1, what are microplastics exactly? At its simplest, microplastics are tiny plastic particles under 5 millimeters in size. But not all microplastics are created equal. Scientists classify them into 2 main types. Primary microplastics, plastics that were manufactured small. Think of the little beads once used in face scrubs, toothpaste, or cleaning products. Or microfibers shed from synthetic clothing like polyester and nylon. Secondary microplastics, these are bigger plastics that broke down over time. Water bottles, shopping bags, fishing nets, when exposed to sunlight, waves, or friction, they fragment into microplastics. What's scary is how widespread they are. Researchers have found microplastics in tap water, bottled water, salt, honey, seafood, fruits, vegetables, and even beer. And just recently, they were discovered inside human lungs, bloodstreams, and placentas. Yes, you heard that right. Babies are now born already exposed to microplastics. Number 2, where do they come from? The surprising part is, microplastics don't only come from littering. Everyday life contributes massively to the problem. Here are the biggest sources: synthetic clothing. Washing polyester, acrylic, or nylon clothes releases hundreds of thousands of fibers into wastewater with each cycle. Car tires. Every time we drive, tires shed microscopic plastic dust onto roads, which rain then washes into rivers and oceans. Plastic packaging, bags, bottles, and wrappers break down under sunlight and friction, creating endless fragments. Personal care products. Until recently, face scrubs and toothpaste used microbeads for texture. Many are banned now, but older stock in global markets still use them. Fishing gear. Abandoned nets and ropes degrade into fibers that entangle marine life. Paint and coatings, even house paint, road markings, and ship paint shed plastic particles. The result? Microplastics are released in staggering amounts. Some studies estimate that over 14 million tons of microplastics sit on the ocean floor right now. Number 3, how do they travel so far? Here's the creepy part. Microplastics don't just stay where they're dropped. They spread through natural forces. Water currents carry them across oceans, meaning a plastic bag from New York can fragment and reach the Arctic. Wind lifts lightweight particles into the atmosphere. That's why scientists recently found microplastics falling as plastic rain in remote mountain regions. Animals eat them, and then bigger animals eat those animals, pushing microplastics up the food chain. So even if you live far from an ocean, you're still surrounded by microplastics. They're in the dust on your furniture, the air you breathe, and the water from your tap. Number 4, why should we care? The health impact. Now you might be thinking, okay, they're everywhere, but are they actually dangerous? Scientists are still uncovering the full picture. But here's what we know. Toxic chemicals. Plastics often contain additives like BPA, phthalates, and flame retardants. These are linked to hormone disruption, fertility issues, and developmental problems. Carriers of pollutants. Microplastics can absorb heavy metals and pesticides like a sponge. Physical damage. In marine life, microplastics block digestive tracts, reduce nutrition, and cause internal injuries. Similar risks may exist for humans, though more research is needed. Inflammation. Early studies show that when microplastics enter human tissue, they can trigger inflammation and oxidative stress, conditions linked to diseases like cancer and heart problems. The scariest part? We don't yet know the long-term impact of constant exposure, but the evidence so far points to a growing health crisis. Number 5, the environmental costs. Beyond human health, microplastics devastate ecosystems. Marine life. Fish, turtles, and seabirds mistake them for food. Over 1 million animals die each year from plastic ingestion or entanglement. Soil and agriculture, fertilizers, sewage sludge, and plastic mulching sheets add microplastics into farmland. That means crops grow in contaminated soil. Food chain disruption. When plankton, the base of the ocean food chain, consume microplastics, it impacts every level up to whales and humans. In short, microplastics aren't just pollution. They're an ecological time bomb. Number 6, can we clean them up? Here's the hard truth. Once microplastics are in the environment, they're nearly impossible to remove. Imagine trying to filter glitter out of the ocean. The sheer scale makes cleanup unrealistic. That's why prevention is key. Stopping plastic waste before it breaks down is far more effective than trying to clean up after the fact. That said, there are promising innovations. Scientists are developing filters for washing machines to catch microfibers. Some companies are experimenting with biodegradable plastics. Researchers are exploring enzymes and microbes that can eat plastic. It's a start, but large-scale solutions will require global cooperation. Number 7, what can you do? Practical steps. Now, this might all feel overwhelming, but here's the good news. You can make a difference in your own life. Here are 5 practical steps. Choose natural fabrics. Buy cotton, linen, or wool instead of polyester when possible. Wash smart, use shorter cycles, colder water, and a microfiber catching laundry bag. Cut single-use plastics. Bring reusable bags, bottles, and straws. Every avoided plastic means fewer fragments later. Support bans and policies. Many countries are banning microbeads, plastic bags, and single-use plastics. Add your voice and support these moves. Be mindful with waste. Recycle properly, reduce consumption, and spread awareness. Change doesn't happen overnight, but collective small actions add up to global impact. Bonus fact. Here's something wild. Scientists estimate that by 2050, there could be more plastic in the ocean than fish by weight if we don't act now. That means our grandchildren might grow up in a world where ocean life is outnumbered by plastic waste. Final thoughts. So what are microplastics? They're the invisible, tiny fragments of plastic pollution that have quietly infiltrated every corner of our planet, and even our bodies. They remind us of a sobering truth. What we throw away never really goes away. Plastic doesn't disappear. It just gets smaller, spreading further and deeper into the web of life. The solution isn't just about cleaning up, but rethinking how we use plastic in the first place. And that starts with awareness. Microplastics are everywhere, in our food, water, even our bodies. Which fact shocked you most? Eating a credit card's worth weekly, or plastics found in unborn babies? Share your thoughts below. If this video helped, like, subscribe to Spin of Facts, and share with a friend. Small actions create big change. Together we can tackle plastic pollution. World Map.